Hello and welcome back. Now this is a bit strange because this is the Sunday stitching video, but it's actually Sunday morning. Usually you record it ahead of time. Okay, so I did say to you that what I wanted to do this week was I wanted to look at, you can see I've got all bits started here. I wanted to look at making one of these Japanese bags. And part of how I want to deal with that is with using some of these fabrics that are left over from the Advent stitching that I did. Those of you who've been around a while remember that my Advent calendar this year was a collection of fabric quarters, one a day, and each day we did a project with them. So I'm going to be using those fabrics. It's obviously going to be blue, which works well in that in the main I would like to use the Sashiko stitching. I think I showed you last week that I had got my hands on a couple of stencils. So I was able to stencil and stitch these on some blue cotton that I had. So I've been doing those during the week. I've also got, I mean, this one's already been done and cut into, but these were pre-printed sheets that I had. I think I was 4 of them. You can see here it says design 1494534, petal signature cotton, and I just had some white embroidery thread and stitched those. And I've got that in 3 different designs, so I'll be using some of that as well. But for my base I've got this paler blue cotton, so let's have a little talk about this. Now there's 5 in each pile because you've got 4 sides to make like a box, and then you've got the base. Okay, so that's your 5 sides. Now each one of these has been cut to 6.5 inches. Okay, so I've got 6 for the outside of my bag box, or my box bag, and 6 for the inside. But then I've also got 5, not 6. They're 6.5 inches and there's 5 of them. And then I've got a dog hair or 2, but I've got 3 pieces of felt. I didn't have enough for 4, so I've got 1 piece of wadding, and these are 6 by 6. And the reason I've done that is because it allows for a 1/4 inch seam all the way around. Okay, so the very first thing that needs to be done, I'm going to do it with pins because I don't want to get my sewing machine up. It's a bit of a faff and it's going to make a lot of noise. So I'm just going to pin mine and then I'll sew it off camera. But basically what you need to do is take 2 of your 5 pieces and do a 1/4 inch seam down one side. Okay, so this is not 1/4 inch, but I'll sort it all out when I sew it properly. I just want you to see what is going to happen. Okay, so I've joined those 2 together with the 1/4 inch seam. Okay, I'm then going to take another one and I'm going to join that in exactly the same way. So how is everybody? All happy, safe and well? Enjoying your Sunday morning? It's late Sunday morning. It's not quite lunchtime. So there's 3 of my 4 sides, and then this is my 4th side. So that is going to join on there exactly the same way. I don't know what happened. My week ran away with me. Normally I record this Sunday video on a Friday, but I didn't quite get to it this week somehow. So there's our 4 sides, okay? Now we need to put in the bottom. So I'm going to look at this one here where I can see the pinheads, and I'm going to just join it there like that all the way across. Okay, so whoops, pulled a thread. This is really simple, really basic. And then I'm going to spin it so that it comes round the corner like that. Okay, and do the same again. And if you put a nice 1/4 inch seam on each side and then spin it and do the same again, then you will have 4 beautiful 6-inch sides. Okay, and actually I was thinking that I might have a little go and try and do one of these out of paper, and see if it works doing it in paper as well, because we could do a folded 1/4 inch seam on our, you know, on our boards, and see how we go from there. I think it'll work. Whoops. I'm speaking, I didn't have that lined up properly. So let's, there we go. Okay, and then we'll do a very final side up, and we will have a box bag. Very quick and easy. Okay, so there is our bottom, our base, and our 4 sides. Okay, it's a bit floppy at the moment, which is why we've got an inside and outside, but obviously once that's been stitched, I'm going to leave it that way so that these seams will be inside, because the new one is going to be stitched around on the outside. So there's the base. Okay, and we are technically going to do that again, but this time I'm going to work on them one at a time. I'm not going to join them all together. So I'm going to pull one off. I'm going to pin the rest together and keep them to one side. And here is my wadding or felt or old towel, whatever you've got, old quilt, whatever you've got to give you some texture and some weight to your panel piece. Okay, so if I turn that over, so I'm happy that's in the middle, as it were, and I'm just going to put a little pin in there to hold it all together. Now I'm going to start looking at my fabrics, and I'm basically going to make a patchwork on each side. But remember that I only want to go to where my wadding is. I don't want to go on my seam allowance area. Okay, so where's my stitching? So here's my first stitching. So if I feel for the edge of my wadding, like so, and I'm going to pin that piece into place. Now I can start to build up my patchwork. Now I've got this strip here, and I'm just going to put a piece of that over there. Okay, I need my scissors. So again, I'm going to go to around there for my seam allowance, tear down and offer this piece there. So basically a patchwork is what we're building. And what have I got now? I'm just trying to have a look. That's quite a little piece. We could maybe use that in a minute. We've got this lovely flower. I like this. So I think on this one I'm going to trim it down there. And obviously it's going to be your choice what size pieces you use on your panels. Okay, and obviously I am going to stitch on top of these. So lining it up on my quarter seam there, popping a pin in, and now obviously I need a piece that's going to go across here. So we want quite a thin piece. Just looking at what I've already got torn. This one's very, very dark, but that's quite nice. So I'm going to snip that over, because with a patchwork, it's not true patchwork in the sense of the way you would stitch a quilt, but it's, you know, pieces overlaid like an old-fashioned patchwork. And then I just want to trim that there. That'll give me that area. I've got a bit of this cotton thread in my mouth, sorry. That's now needs to spin over a little bit. That's sort of moved, hasn't it? That's fine. And then we're going to put that piece lined up there and overlapping that one. And then I want like a central vision. So maybe that one will go there like that. And then obviously I can choose to add laces and decorative stitches and so on and so forth to finish off that panel. So I mean, I just happen to have this piece of lace here. I might choose, yeah, just to decorate up further. But then what happens is this piece, assuming this has already been stitched, this piece is going to come on here like that. And what that's going to do then, look, is give a real sturdy, if I pin it so that it's not falling apart, that's going to add a real sturdy stand to our piece because of the wadding and the fabric and then all of the stitching. And that is basically what it's going to look like. But we are going to obviously turn the edges in so it's neat and tidy. So there you go. So that's the base of the bag, and this is how I'm going to start to build up the panels. So I think I'm going to do the next one. So here's another panel. Oh, there's another panel. There's a piece of felt. You're going to hear Boo getting all excited in a minute. Dad's getting ready to take her for a Sunday walk, which she absolutely adores because it's the one they do in the daylight. And because it's daylight, they go for a lot longer. Right, so we need another piece of our sashiko. We can't use that one because that one's not been finished. Where's the blue one? Here we go. Now this is quite a big piece, so I think what I'm going to do is take my scissors and I'm going to, well, I was going to trim it, or do we? Do you know what? Let's just use it the size it is. Why not? Here we go. So we've got that. Then I've got this lovely fabric here. I like this when it fits in with our blue theme. So I'm going to put a snip here. Rip that down. I've got lovely length there. And maybe that can come across there. But it only needs to go to that height. And then it needs to, there's my height. Wanted it a bit shorter for an overlap. And then it only really needs to go to that width. So then that gives me another little piece there. There she goes. Can you hear her? Are you getting ready to go out, my baby girl? Are you? Go for a walk with Daddy? Right, so then we've got that piece on there like that. We need to find the pinwheel. Here we go. So we'll get a pin through there. We'll take that one out of that corner and get that one through there. Okay, and I'm trying to make sure that I don't use fabrics that I've already used before, so that we've got, you know, different on each side. This is quite a nice one. See you later. Have fun. So this one I'm going to cut on the fold. That's the length. And then we're going to flip this onto there, like that. And I'm going to go, oh, it's basically on that fold, isn't it? So then we've got that one coming across there. We can get a nice square over there then, can't we? Oh, I've got itchy nose. Right, so that one's going to go there. And now I need to find, right, where's my panel first of all, so I can see what I've used. So if I put my panel there, I can see which fabrics I've used and make sure I don't double up. So we have used that one. We haven't used this one yet. And we've got our Sashiko one on there already. We've now used that grey looking one. We've used the wave and the flower. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I think actually this one's quite nice. Let's use this one as it's next in my hand. And they're all coordinating anyway, so it doesn't really make much difference. So snip there. Like that. And then this will give me a nice rectangle to go there. So, oops, I keep bringing it close to me, so I've got more tearing pressure. And then of course I remember that's an issue because you can't see. I do apologise. Right, that one goes there. So there's our second panel. Ow, stabbed myself on a pin, silly lady. So that's now going on that side, like so. So now we've got two sides to our box, yeah, our box bag. So now we're going to work on, might as well carry on, mightn't I? Work on this one. Whoops, that pin's gone a bit weird. Right, this one. So, where's our Sashiko? Now I'm not going to be able to do the fourth one because I don't have the last piece of this stitching done. So I'm only going to be able to do 3 panels with you, but I think 3's going to be enough to give you a really good idea of what I'm trying to achieve. And I will put a link in the comments for some of the YouTube videos that I've seen where people are doing this and what's attracted me to it. So there's my base again. There's my felt. Flip it over, get rid of those, and the first piece going on is this one. Oops. And we'll pin that in place there. Okay, so we used this grey one already. We haven't used this one, although I've got to be honest and say I'm not overly keen on that one. So let's see. Don't really want to use the denim. Don't really want to use this one because it's got colouring. There's no colour in any of the others. Same for this one and this one. Right, but we have got, what have we got here? Let's tip these over. Well, that one we've already used, so we don't want that one. And we've used that grey one as well. Oh, we're starting to run out, ladies. We might have to do double ups after all. We haven't used this one yet. So do a little snip. Oh, pull that one. That's dark blue again. Oh, that's interesting because, oh yes it is. Right, so I'm going to go under this time, under the length, and tear that. So then this one is going to go there. Okay. Did I use that one? Yes. See, that's why it's handy to have it just there. We've not used this pale one though, have we? We used the grey one. So we can definitely use a piece of this. So I'm going to cut this one about there. And obviously I'm not doing any measurements here. I'm just going with what feels right. I'm going to put another bit off there because I don't want it as long as that piece. So I'm going to put that one there. That's that one. So we've used that. We haven't used this one yet. So I think I'm going to go there. I know I said it was sort of one of my least favourite in the pack, and that's true, but we need to use it up, don't we? So that one's going there. Then we need a long thin one for there, and I'm thinking this cloud one always reminds me of clouds. I think this would be good for that. So we could cut on that fold. And how much do we need? We need, where's the bottom of that one? So you either want it above or below. I think I'm going to go for above because there's not really enough to go below. So I'm sure that's the wrong length, but I just want to get it off that big piece. Right, let's have a little look now. So that's there, and then we're going to cut it about there. And of course, all those little pieces I will hold on to for all sorts of other projects. They're not being discarded, just put aside from what we're doing here. Okay, so that is our third side. So in less than half an hour we have framed out our bag by putting the 4 sides and the base on, and now we've done 3 of our panels. Obviously there is hours of stitching here before that becomes, you know, proper, but look at that. That is going to stand up absolutely amazing once it's got all of its stitching on all of those pieces. That is going to be absolutely amazing. And then what we need to do is we need, oh, not that, because that's the pre-cut pieces, but some of this spare, we're going to cut ourselves little tabs. So with my scissors, I'm going to go, let's have a look, I'm thinking 1 inch is too small. I'm going to go 1.5 inches, like that. And we want to fold it in half like this, because this needs to go between the 2 layers like that to create a loop to put a drawstring in. Okay, and that feels like a really good size to me, so I'm gonna tear that across there like that. Now obviously if you want it to be square and finished and you don't want this frayed edge, then you need to seam that in some way. Either fold yourself over a little edge, you know, and give yourself a seam, whereas I like it frayed like that, and obviously there'll be a rope string going through there. Okay, and I'm going to deliberately put mine to the left corner. Okay, so I'm going to put this one on there, so they're quite a long way away, but they are on that same position of each one, and because each panel is the same size, they should be equidistant apart, and that is basically the same size, so I'm happy with that. So turn that back, pop that in there. I just pulled it out to check the measurement like that. Whoops. And pop a pin in there like so. So that's that one. That's lovely. And then we've got the second one. How big is that? That's 3.5. Okay, so it's 1.5 by 3.5. I know where I am now. So then I can pop that in there. Check, is that the same height? It's nearly the same height, so that's perfect. So now you can see we've got equidistance, yeah, because it's on, yeah, the far side. So then this one, we're going to need another one, aren't we? So where's my 1.5 inches? 1.5 inches is on that fold line. That's handy, Harry. And now, because we got 2 out of 1, I know it must be half. So like that. Boom, 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 boom. And then we'll fold that in half. Again, we're going to go to this far left side, and I'm going to pin that in there like that. So there you go. We've got our 3 sides with our tabs in. We haven't got this side on yet, but we've got the tab prepared, so we can put that tab on. We know it's going to go there. Like that. So there, ladies, is our Japanese box bag. Let's do it this way. That's going to sit on my desk with all sorts of bits and pieces in. And obviously, once that's all stitched, that's going to stand up beautifully. So, I hope you found some joy and inspiration in that. Hope you're off to rummage through your scraps bags. I mean, I chose to do it all in various blues and to use the Sashiko stitch. You don't need this type of stitch. You can use any stitch you like. You don't need it all to be, you know, a variation of one colour. If you're a bright person, then use your reds and your greens and your blues and your yellows and really make it jazzy. Whatever suits you. But I think I'm going to love this. And gradually, during the coming week, I will do some stitching on there and make that look like, and finish that one, and just keep working on it until it's done. So as always, a huge thank you from me for stopping by to see what's going on. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you soon. Ta-ta for now.